You are knowing what you are wanting. You come for the purpose of taking thought beyond that which it has been before. You have questions. You are looking for answers. You have knowing you are wanting to share. You like the idea of you bringing your magnificent bodies and the inner being part of you showing up as well. You know the corridors are filled far more with that which is non-physical than that which is physical. But then that's true everywhere you go, not just here. You are far more than what you have come to know as your personality in this physical body. Far more. You are primarily source energy. You are vibration mostly. Oh, and then there is this wonderful manifestation of energy that you know as you, but it is by far not the major part of you. You are source energy projecting into this physical body. Who you really are as source energy understands your worthiness, knows your value, would never for a moment feel insignificant or insecure. But sometimes you feel insignificant or jealous or insecure. Sometimes you feel not enough. You feel as if you are failing. And when you have any of those kinds of emotions or sensations or thoughts, you are so far from who you really are. And we can only say that it must be because you've been socialized into that separation. And by being socialized into that separation, what we mean is you must have been convinced by someone or something outside of this continuum of who you are that you should modify your behavior in order to satisfy something outside of you rather than following the guidance that comes forth from within you. This guidance is so significant and so ever-present and so easy to read once you get refocused upon it and begin to remember it a little bit. And it's based upon such a simple premise. It's based upon the premise of where am I and where do I want to go? Source knows your worthiness. When you complain that you're not smart, you feel the discord. Source knows your value. When you think you are insignificant, you feel the discord. Source knows your brilliance. When you think you're not smart, you feel the discord. In other words, you, if you will pay attention to the way you feel, can get a reading in every single moment about how well you are doing with your thought in vibrational relationship to how Source is doing in thinking about you, in recognizing who you are. No, it's even more than that. In being that non-physical part of you. The way you feel in every moment is your indication of how well you are doing about letting yourself become that which your life has caused you to become. Oh, this is so significant. We want so much for you to hear it. You cannot hold back from that which you have become. Life cannot cause you to expand and you continue to beat the drum of where you are without you feeling bad about it. You feel unfulfilled. You feel empty. You feel fitful. You feel like something's wrong. And the reason you feel that way is because you, by virtue of what you are choosing to focus upon, are preventing yourself from going where you deserve to be. You deserve to live the manifestation of all of this wonderful stuff that's in your vibrational escrow. And we hold these gatherings in order to assist you in closing that gap. But we don't want to give you the impression that we want you to close the gap and keep it closed, because expansion is about having life which opens the gap, figuring out how to close it, having a new perspective from which you have contrasting experience which opens the gap and you figure out how to close it. And for those of you who are trying to complete things, that might be a little unsettling to you. And it is our desire that you come with us in our knowledge that you don't want to complete things and you never can complete things, and that life is about this gap. Life literally is about the crack between where I am and where I want to be. And when you accept that and you begin to go with the flow of that, now you begin to live life in the most sensational way. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. You hear those words. But going with the flow, what it literally means is you were source energy and you went with the flow. From your source energy perspective, you couldn't help but do it. You were born into this body, you are going with the flow. You are living life experience, you are going with the flow. You know what you don't want? It's going with the flow in the sense that it's fulfilling your intention of exploring contrast. As you explore the contrast, the natural culmination is a new intention, and source goes with that flow. Now the question that the Art of Allowing workshop asks is, are you going with the flow? And by going with the flow, we mean, are you following the thought, word, and deed that feels best to you? If you are, you're going with the flow. We see you take your canoe down to the river. It's a very fast-moving stream. You set it in, and you point it upstream. Not exactly going with the flow, is it? And you paddle, 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 and you paddle. And some around you say, good job. You're working very hard. Your diligence is admirable. There is virtue in that struggle. Oh, I see you're sweating very hard. And now let us compare you with all of the others that have turned their canoes upstream. And let's see who can apply themselves the longest and the hardest. And we say, that's not going with the flow. And you say, but it's virtuous. And it gets me marks on lots of charts. I'm touted as the one who does the best job of struggling. And we say, what do you think about turning your canoe into the direction of the current? And you know what most of you say? Take the path of least resistance? Oh, that's just lazy. And we say, you didn't come forth to prove anything. You didn't come forth tensed against injustice in order to right it, or tensed against unworthiness in order to find worthiness. You came as pure positive energy into an environment that has been set forth by eons of thought that has been offered before. You were the flow. You are the flow. You came to be in the flow. You did not come for struggle. And you can tell when you're in the flow by the way you feel. You are where you are, and where you are is just fine, because you can get to wherever you want to be from wherever you are. The most incredulous thing that we hear coming from humans are words like incurable. We say, what? You say, it's incurable. We say, what does that mean? You say, it means I can't get to where I want to be from where I am. We say, what dimension are you in? How did you manage to withdraw yourself, to extract yourself from the laws of the universe as we know them to be? How did you manage to pull yourself out of the flow of non-physical energy that is you? You didn't. You can't. There is nobody who cannot get from where they are to where they want to be. That is illogical in every sense of the word, from every law we know, and we know them all in all universes, in all dimensions, in all time-space realities. It's not possible for you to have something that is not curable. It is not possible. Now, you could say it in a more accurate way. You could say, I want something that I am holding myself out of vibrational alignment with. And you know what that would mean? That would mean that you would be saying, I am choosing sickness instead of wellness. And we say, well, that's different. Oh, yes, you can hold yourself in the choice of sickness in the same way that you can put your canoe in the water and turn upstream and paddle. It's the same thing. It's not going with the flow of wellness. It's pushing against the illness, you see. But when you understand that it is natural for you to be well and natural for you to have abundance of all things, and you begin to relax and go with the flow, now every journey becomes quantifiable. And so when someone tells you that what you have is not curable, you want to say to them, in what reality are you speaking? Because in my reality, I can get anywhere I want to be from wherever I am. I just have to get pointed in the right direction. And dear doctor, it sounds to me like you're not it. They mean well. They've just forgotten. Sometimes humans spend so much time looking at what they don't want that they train themselves into a vibrational pattern of that. And bless your hearts, we know that it is just so annoying to be in that vibrational pattern with law of attraction responding to it, so everything in your world looks like that, and have some freak from non-physical dimension who doesn't have rent to pay or a body to tend to tell you that you can be or do or have anything you want. We know it's annoying. We know that when you feel the way you feel, the vibration that is responsible for the way you are feeling has a strong current, and that strong current is law of attraction responding to it. So everything in your life is reflecting that, and it's hard to believe that it can be different when it isn't, because you have become, bless your hearts again, we're going to bless your hearts all day, you have become such fact-based people. It's true, you say. Here's the x-ray. Here's the doctor's report. Here's the reality. It's true, Abraham. And your airy-fairy frou-frou dust is not going to make any difference. It's true. This is the way that it is. And we say, it's only true because you activated a vibration and made that activated vibration active long enough that it became dominant, and law of attraction responded to it, so it became your point of attraction. Whatever you look at long enough manifests. And so when you say, well, in our history or in our today reality, this and this and this and this are true, we say only because someone looked at it and caused it to become a reality. But you have choices. You can add to more of that, or you can add to something different. And if you begin to care about how you feel, now you begin to go with the flow, with the true nature of your being. There are some things you need to get over, like death, because there isn't any of it. There's only life. You are life in the non-physical. You are life in this body. You are life beyond this body. You are more non-physical life than you are physical life, even when you are in this body. You are energy first and foremost. You are vibration first and foremost. And we think that it's really time for you to begin to evaluate yourself and perceive yourself from a vibrational standpoint, so that you can begin to quantify every journey, so that you can begin to go with the flow. You know, when you're born, it's much more traumatic than when you die. Because when you're born, you come from pure positive energy into an environment of more discord. That's when you should mourn. Oh, poor little spirit born into this mess we've made. We're just kidding, because it's not a mess, but it is a bit like that. That's why every baby cries. And for a moment says, oh God, what have I done? And it's also why the baby goes right back to sleep. So here you are in your physical body, and you've been here for a while, and you have adapted to less than pure positive energy. Oh, you find it sometimes. We see you. Your heart's sore. You fall in love. You appreciate. You meditate. You have all kinds of things that you do. Your slumber is not about your body needing rest from activity. Your slumber is about your body needing rest from your resistance. And so as you slumber and you withdraw your focus, or as you croak and you withdraw your focus, you return to pure positive energy. But we want you to realize that you don't have to croak or go to sleep in order to stop the negative resistance within your vibration. You just have to learn how to go with the flow. And going with the flow only means, it's what the art of allowing is, allowing, resisting, feeling better, feeling worse. And in every moment you have that choice. In every moment you can dramatize something that makes you feel better, or you can dramatize something that makes you feel worse. You can emphasize something that makes you feel better, or you can emphasize something that makes you feel worse. And as that becomes your dominant intention, nothing's more important than the way I feel. And my dominant intention is to look for something that makes me feel good.